Now to news from the front lines. The tension there is not subsiding. Yesterday, 254 combat engagements were recorded along the entire front line. The enemy is storming almost every sector. The enemy attempted to break through our defenses 30 times each on the Lyman and Kostiantynivka axes and 26 attacks on the Pokrovsk axis. A fresh military report from our correspondent Yehor Ramak. He is live from the frontline zone. So, hello, Yehor. We are waiting for your update, and tell us where you've been.
Hello, Tatiana. Regarding the situation right on the front line, I would like to start my broadcast in just a few minutes, as is tradition, with an appeal to all viewers of the United News Marathon. A QR code and card number will now appear on your screens, which you can use to support the fundraiser for our defenders, the soldiers of the 48th Separate Artillery Brigade, who are striking the enemy in the South Slobozhansky direction. The guys are in great need of drone detectors right now, so I strongly urge you to join in with a donation. Well, and now about the Russians' favorite pastime in Ukraine. I'm talking about burning down settlements and terrorizing the civilian population. I'm specifically talking about the situation in the Kostiantynivka direction because this morning we managed to visit Druzhkivka. And this is the very city that is changing day by day. It's already very hard to recognize because I was last there in June, and Druzhkivka then and now are two different cities. Driving into the city right now, into Druzhkivka itself, is impossible. You have to go in on foot. The risk of getting hit by an FPV drone in a car is too high. It's swarming with them. We were accompanied by press officers from the 93rd Separate Mechanized Brigade, whose soldiers, among others, are defending the Kostiantynivka direction. After all, it's better not to be there at all without the military. The guys from the mobile fire groups made a significant contribution to the fact that we managed to return from there, repeatedly shooting down UAVs that were flying right nearby. In reality, the active movement in Druzhkivka is not just aerial, but also ground-based, since the lion's share of logistics now rests on pickup trucks, dozens of which we encountered here. Unfortunately, both intact ones and those already burned by the enemy. There is also a lot of burned civilian transport, as the occupiers do not care who exactly they are striking. This was also confirmed to us by the commander of one of the companies of the 93rd, whose soldiers are holding the defense in this direction. He said that he had repeatedly seen with his own eyes the Russists' targeted attacks specifically on civilians. Here is the direct quote.
They strike at civilians, and that, it was visible. Recently, they killed a man here who was transporting potatoes on a bicycle. They don't discriminate. Well, there's nothing human left in them.
Meaning, if they see movement, they don't care if it's military or not?
They don't distinguish, even though, it's obvious that, it's not a soldier. They burn everything. They destroy, they burn.
Hence the sad statistics. Head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration, Vadim Falashkin, reported that over the past week, the Russians killed 15 civilians in this region alone. Almost 80 more people were wounded. In addition to Druzhkivka, Slavyansk and Kramatorsk are also under constant strikes from drones and guided aerial bombs. According to police information, just over the past day, the enemy shelled both the front line itself and frontline settlements 1,144 times. Well, in the next story, I suggest we return to the South Slobozhansky direction, where the drone operators of the 48th Separate Artillery Brigade are striking the enemy very effectively. The day before, we managed to see with our own eyes a drone that can truly be called a literal nightmare for the Russians and their logistics, and especially for positions located deep in the rear. We are talking about the Ukrainian-developed Backfire, thanks to which the soldiers of the 48th Brigade effectively fly over 80 kilometers deep into enemy positions and even strike targets on the territory of the Russian Federation. So you are about to see a report on this. And besides this, during the segment, you will also see a QR code and a card number which you can use to support the 48th Brigade's fundraiser for drone detectors, which the guys really need right now. So I ask you to join in. As soon as the Kharkiv sun sets below the horizon, the birds of prey of the 48th Separate Artillery Brigade go out on the hunt. This aircraft and its crew are a real nightmare for the Russians at night. The three-person crew works like a single mechanism. At the same time, the communication antenna and the catapult are being set up. Deployment should take no more than 10 minutes. One of the most intriguing parts is the assembly of the ammunition. Here, it's this 120mm mortar shell.
On the drone's command, the servo activates and the hatch opens under its own weight, so to speak. Upon release, the pin is pulled in.
And it lands like an incoming mortar round, right? Is that it? Next, the wings are attached, the batteries are connected, and you can conduct a pre-flight check. And now we can finally get to know this bird. This is a Ukrainian development called Backfire, and it has plenty to surprise the occupiers with.
There is a mission already written directly for the flight, where the strike point is specified and the return path is specified, so to speak. From takeoff to landing, it guides itself.
So the aircraft is also very smart, which makes it even deadlier for the enemy. By the way, the significant attention from mosquitoes adds speed to the pre-flight preparation. The pilot with the call sign Kherson doesn't miss an opportunity for a joke.
Well, now we're going to launch our own little mosquito.
However, unfortunately, it doesn't manage to take off on the first try.
We're being jammed right now, guys.
While there's no connection, there's time to ask the crew about the aircraft itself. Kherson, Rulia, and Billy have been working with the Backfire for a month now. We were together during training as well. The pilot shares, the aircraft impressed from the first encounter, and its high efficiency made it a priority target for Russian interceptors. However, the Ukrainian drone is also very resilient.
There was one, yeah. We have a wounded one. It looks like they were trying to shoot it down with FPVs, but it didn't work. It came back all shredded, all beaten up, but it came back. Yeah, well, overall, it performs its task at 99.9%, let's say. We send these little gifts just the way it should be.
And of course, its trump card is the flight range. Right now, most of the targets are on enemy territory, depots, logistics, artillery. Everything is deep in the Ratius rear.
We are relatively safe, at a great distance. It flies up to about 160 kilometers for us.
So it's basically almost a middle strike, right?
Yeah, a scary, scary thing.
The mission results can be seen only after the craft returns. And it looks like this. That's it flying.
Uh-huh. And
It's right on target.
good day.
Even while assembling the craft, it was hard not to notice the Ruli tattoo. Maintenance technician, although this aircraft appeared long before the war. The tattoo was done before the war, probably.
A very long time ago, yeah.
It just so happened that we ended up in aviation.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Billy helped with equipping the Ruli aircraft. The man is originally from the Kyiv region, and he shares, the success of the work also depends on how you treat the equipment, because for him, the aircraft is also a brother in arms.
The aircraft took off, and the most important thing is, we wait to see if it made it back. If it didn't come back, it's like you lost someone from your own crew. It's that feeling when you're heading home, but the aircraft isn't there. And even though it's equipment, it's still our team.
Finally, there's an opportunity to take off. Kherson is entering the final settings, and we can leave the launch site.
We're leaving our aircraft alone, and we'll be sending it off.
With a gift.
With a little gift.
The guys really have a lot of work today. Their constant attacks on the enemy's rear prevent the Russians from fully preparing assault groups for an attack in the South Slobodansky direction, so that the drone operators of the 48th have everything they need to keep hammering the invaders where they least expect it. We can support the unit's fundraiser via the QR code and card number you see on the screen. These funds will go toward detectors for spotting enemy drones, which are very necessary right now. From the Kharkiv region, Yehor Romyklo, Volodymyr Kovalenko, and Sergei Marchenko, Fakti ICTV Marathon United News.